Hello, my name is Spencer and I like to make tiny dorky projects to escape reality for a bit. This is a Tamiya 1:35 scale US soldier that I got from my local hobby shop. This guy is in a relaxed, casual pose while the rest of my mini militia looks like they're currently out on a battlefield. Since he doesn't quite fit in with the rest of the crew, he became a perfect protagonist for a small solo diorama. I got this soldier when I was just beginning diorama making and apparently just used him for some practice while priming and assembling. However, looking at him now, I see some glaring gaps in the plastic and some obvious mold lines. First order of business is to ruin the original prime job and to clean up those pesky lines with my trusty tools. To start with the base, I'll put two pieces of XPS foam together. For the setting, I'll be crafting a classic brick wall and a beachside dock for our soldier to stroll upon. I got inspiration for this diorama by his overall calm posture, and I've been wanting to paint bricks for the longest time. Once we get him onto a base, we can start to use some liquid green stuff to fill in some of the large gaps in the plastic. After 24 hours of curing, I can come in with some sanding sticks to make the green stuff as flush as possible with the rest of his uniform. Once I'm fully satisfied with his silhouette, it's time to flip my clean work mat to my beat up battle-worn painting mat. Next, we'll take everything outside for a fresh, even coat of flat black primer. Starting with the deepest recesses of the model, I apply multiple thin layers of base coats, gradually bringing our soldier to life. While I paint this guy up, let me tell you a bit more about the background of this diorama. This diorama's inspiration is admittedly a little bit more different than what I would typically do. This soldier, in his casual pose, really just kind of confused me on what kind of diorama I can put him in. Ultimately, the vision for this is a beachside walk in Normandy or somewhere a US soldier would be beachside. Maine, Normandy, I don't know. But this soldier's walk, the carefree attitude, really put me on a stroll on the beach, and I kind of latched onto that, maybe a little too hard. But then also, I've had the oddest urge to paint bricks over the past 10 months. It's been a itch that I've just been dying to scratch, so this project felt like a great opportunity to mix beachside walk, US soldier, and bricks. And then I kind of just forced my way into a Normandy setting. This project necessarily isn't 100% historically accurate, as most of my projects haven't been up to this point. It's more about just being creative and trying new things. Feel free to sound off in the comments on whether you want to see more accuracy, less accuracy, or just straight up fantasy. And if you're enjoying the video up to this point, feel free to leave a like. It helps a lot in terms of engagement and helps me pursue these hobbies more regularly. For the terrain, I started by crafting a foundation for the building, layering on a textured piece of foam. To achieve a naturally weathered look, I grabbed a crumpled up ball of aluminum foil and pressed it into the foam, creating organic rock textures. Then I painted it a warm gray color and then dabbed on progressively lighter colors randomly with a sponge to give it a realistic concrete color. I will build the dock, or should I say the dilapidated pier, with wooden dowels and trusty popsicle sticks. With my hobby knife in hand, I carefully cut the wood to size, sanding it down for a more refined look before gluing everything into place. Once the dock was assembled, we can then glue the entire dock onto the rest of the diorama and start cutting up some planks to put on top of it and affix them into place. For the brick, I'll try something new for this diorama, making it out of clay. I've never done this before in any of my projects, and I'm very excited to try for the first time. To start, we need to take out a chunk and lay it out flat. One of the first things in the hobby world that honestly blew my mind were the concepts of clay rollers. The idea of them is so simple but at the same time so brilliant to me. You just need to roll it and you get texture. Once we have the texture laid out, we can then trim it to the side of the wall. For some additional texture, I brought out the aluminum foil again and pressed some irregular patterns into the brick. This really helps bring some life into the brickscape and makes it look less pristine. For the wooden dock, I applied a layer of dark wood contrast paint to all of the exposed wood, and then I hit it with a very heavy dry brush of lighter colors to emphasize the texture and the worn qualities of the wood. Moving over to the brick wall, I started with a layer of paintable black primer. Once the primer had done its thing, I applied a nice layer of brick red and then I carefully highlighted selected bricks with varying shades to add realistic variation using lighter and darker brick tones. Once dried, I then finished with a final flourish, smearing a layer of spackle over everything before wiping away the excess with a paper towel to create the illusion of aged mortar. Before I attached the wall to the rest of the diorama, I applied some more spackling in between where it would dock with the other dock in order to make sure no unsightly gaps appeared. Once all the structural elements were in place, I applied a Vallejo sand texture to the whole beachfront side area, bringing the scene to life. And now for the final step, freeing our soldier from his tiny base and affixing him to his new, more distinguished stage. To give the diorama a polished, professional touch, I framed the edges with a trimmed wooden veneer. Once everything was ready, we can paint the sides black and move on to some oh-so-satisfying glamour shots. To everyone who stuck around till the end, thank you. There's a lot happening going on right now, and this little hobby is my way of hitting pause, even just for a moment. It means the world to me that I get to share that with you. I'll be back soon with another project or another story to tell, and until then, take care, be kind to yourselves, and have an absolutely excellent week. I'll see y'all next time.